Hello, hello. This is Kimberly from Journal Breeze, and I welcome you to my channel. If you're new or you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping by. It's really meaningful to me and makes it more fun when I can read your comments and just hear about what you think with a like. It's just all really meaningful to me. Thank you. So today, I'm doing something that is not my day for Lydia's collaboration called Spring Inspiration, but it's a day, and my day is on the 29th, so it's in a week or so, a couple of weeks. But today what I'm going to do is day 16, which I think was yesterday, and that's lace. And the reason I decided that I would do this on camera is because I'm using an altered book. This book was put together in 1926. The story was first published in 1887, something like that. And that's a real tintype, by the way. Civil War, the real original metal frame. And so I have gone with a very vintage look, and my journal has wonderful margins, but it was so old, and the paper's not brittle, but the binding was really poor. And my error was I took out too many pages, I guess. I don't really know. I'm not a bookbinder. I don't know. It's just my best guess. Anyway, it's caused me to have to do a lot of things to hold the signatures in and the pages together. And so today I'm going to be working on something like this. And I just want to show you what I'm going to do. I'm trying to treat each discrepancy only with what it needs, not overdo or underdo, but actually just do something that'll help it stay together. And maybe what's happening is that with each thing I repair, I cause more problems for the pages after it. Honestly, I don't know. This one, but this was the first one I put in. And it's on brown paper that you wet and it sticks, and it's really strong and really, really good. And I put it all the way back to be in with the signatures. And maybe I went a bit too far. Although when you look at it, it just seems to be even. But it's quite a deep crevice, and now I'm not going so deep because I don't think it really looks good to be that deep. But this book was literally going to fall in half if I didn't fix that. So I think for this page it was the right thing to do. And then I sewed this really pretty fabric on top of it. But some of them I did things small like that. It's just such great paper, such a pretty patina. This one I did tape the whole way. So I didn't anticipate having so many pages that were going to cause me trouble. This one I didn't rip the pages all the way down. This one I just ripped part way, and that was okay then. And that's what I should have done. I ripped it, I think, and then I cut it. Tape, partial tape, because this didn't need it. Although you could say it did. So this is the one we're working on right here. Or if it wasn't, it's going to be. That's a pretty big gap. And you can see it's got all that buckram, I think it's called. Buckram in there. And the pages are still sewn together. Can you see those threads? So it's cool. If I wasn't afraid of it falling apart, I probably would leave that visible because I really like it. And it fits with the vintage so beautifully. But, you know, I don't want to risk it. This one you can see the binding threads, so I don't want to cover that. And this one is fixed before that. So this is the one we're going to work on. And the papers I'm going to use is predominantly this for the background. This is looking a little purple. Hold on a moment. It's not. It's beautiful shades of blue. Beautiful, beautiful shades of blue. Now this is on, oops, this is on coffee dyed paper. I'm using the back of something I don't want any longer. And this is what it looks like on white paper. So you can see quite a difference. It isn't the shadow. This looks almost light violet in a way. And these look turquoise green. And then on this one, the flowers are brighter, and this looks more like a gray. So I need to turn the light back on. Too many shadows otherwise. I have a skylight to my left, and I have a window to my right. And it's 2 different times a day because the room's large. So keeping it all straight is not easy. So I hope you can just forgive that. I'm trying to work as much on the sunny side as I can. So I wanted to show you these other, if you want to make a blue journal or a blue page, these are some of the other beautiful blues. Let me just turn this off again. Yeah, it's just so hard to see. There we go. So beautiful, beautiful blue. It's more blue than it looks like in there. It's really quite a medium, and then there's a lot of aqua in these leaves. This is a blue and a purple. That looks like what it looks like. It has a green stripe and a gray in the background. And then this one I'm going to be using, just haven't figured out where yet. It says the sunlight of my heart. And it has, you can see all different color flowers in it, but it's really pretty. And it's patched. So it's got seam lines in here and folds and whatnot. And that'll be perfect for my Victorian, or really not Victorian, but more like early 1900s journal. Even though the front is Civil War, it is otherwise, that was a dead relative. I made the coloring, aged it and whatnot, and the spine to give it an early 1900s farm country feel. All right, so what my point of this is that instead of taping this and bringing it further down, what I'm going to do is put this across both pages and not indent it. And then after it's glued down completely, then when I fold the book, it'll form its own dent, but it won't put any more fold. It won't put any more pressure on this area. So this area will be held in place as it is with no more pressure here. And I did that one other page, and I think it is a really, really good way to work with this issue if you should ever come across that issue. So the way that I did the other page, man, I've never done something like this so simple. I would have normally cut it all out properly in advance, but I simply glued it on. So what I'm going to do is start in this corner and just work my way over. Let me know in the comments if you're also doing Lydia's collaboration. Well, let me know anything you want in the comments. But if you are doing her, going along and making some of the makes or following some of the collaborators or enjoying it, let me know. I'd love to hear that. We're really busy and meeting behind the scenes and seeing each other's work, and then there's so much going on in life, it's hard to catch up with a lot of other things. So if you have a channel, name it. I'd like to go see what you made. Okay, and that's as much as I do. I don't think with this super duper glue, Beacon 3-in-1, that it needs a whole lot more. And it does squish toward the outer edge, so my tendency is to not get too close. And I'm not going in there at all because I don't really want it to stick down in that groove. I'm trying to eliminate that groove to some extent. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. I have to stand up for this. I hope my hair stays out of the way and my head stays out of the way. There we go. Okay. Okay. then I'm going to hold the page together. I'm going to just make sure that it's, well, it doesn't really have any movement, so there's nothing I can do. And I'm going to go like that. So this side will have to be cut entirely from the reverse. And this side will be lined up, so a little less cutting will be required. Doesn't that make for a gorgeous page? Wait a minute. You know what? I have the wrong lamp on. Yeah. That's what I wanted. Well, it still doesn't really look true to form. It's just perpetually working on the lighting when you do YouTube. It's really a snore and a bore for me. Okay. I started to video this yesterday. I was all set up to go, but I never got my camera. I don't use my phone. I use a camera for teaching, and the computer and the camera were not communicating properly, and I was not able to get it to work before I was too exhausted to make a video. So it's working now, and I think it's even better. And there is a bit of a hiss, so it isn't coming out of my stuff then. Let me see if I can play down that hissing sound. Let me know if you hear that hiss. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit. See if that... Oh, yeah, it's really high. We played with all of the stuff yesterday. And to try to get this corrected. And I think that's what's going on right now. Is it's not set where I had it before. Okay, so there we go. So now, see, that's one where I went in the groove really, really deep. I went really deep in the groove, and then this sticks way over. So I don't think it's a good idea to try to get your tape when you have pages coming apart down into the groove. I think it just further separates them. So this one is going to be a little different. And then I've got that area up there. So the paper actually only goes to here on this end. That would not have been my choice. I would have gone a little bit further in. But the whole book doesn't really line up straight anyway. So the paper fold is straight, but it just doesn't meet. So that's too bad. I'm going to need to put a little piece of washi on there to make sure it doesn't rip any further. So how are you guys doing? How are things now that the weekends here are better? Better than they were at the beginning of the week? I hope so. Of course, it depends on what you're talking about. Even when our personal lives are okay, everything else has gone to you nowhere. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put it, let's see, on this side. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on this side. Okay. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to cut. When your pages are, cattywampus, you really can't even trust that the two pages end at the same place. So you do have to cut each side independently. I don't know if I've ever before this book actually covered an entire 2 pages with one digital. I don't think so. And I'm liking it. I think it's kind of cool. And I'm going to keep doing it. If you find a paper or a digital that you really love, and I really love this, why not? You get to look at more of it that way. Okay, now for the cutting. All right, so, you know what? Just like I left the paper showing here and up there, I like it a lot. I like how that sticks out. This is another one where I did the fold over. Um, so I think I'll do the same. I think I'll cut this more so it's even with that. And leave that on and get rid of the white. Okay, good. Glad I noticed that. Okay, let me get that white off first. That looks terrible. I was watching Barbara from 49 Dragonflies this morning. And she's in Vienna, Austria, Central Europe. And she looked out the window and she started to laugh. And she told us she was laughing because it was snowing out her window. She taped this about a week ago, snowing. And the snow just got bigger and bigger. And she couldn't believe it. And she said yesterday it had been, summer weather, short sleeves, sandals, whole shebang. So it is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is draw a pencil line, which I hope I can see. There we go. Okay, you probably wonder, what does this have to do with lace? Well, my idea for the page is what we're going to do next. And I have been able to get some thick laces lately that I think will look really good with this country farm theme. Okay. Okay. Great. So see, this doesn't even, it's not even straight across. It's so out of joint. It should be like that, but it's like this. And I like that for this theme. I mean, I did not go into this thinking that that was going to be my theme, but once I saw what was happening with the book, ouch, I decided to go with it. I think I'm just going to cut that. Make it a little round. Make it look a little intentional. Yeah, looks good. Okay, good. All right. So, lace. So let's look at the laces and audition them. One of my favorite parts. Okay. Ouch. Okay. All right. So, I'm keeping it simple. I'm going to make pockets and then put some beautiful journaling cards that I jazzed up or will be jazzing up. I have all the parts cut in the pockets. So, simple. Look at this fantastic lace. It's really dirty. I mean, the perfect dirt, right? Not dirty, but worn, the worn look. That part looks pretty clean, but there's areas that are not so much. Anyway, it is definitely a machine background, and then somebody, I want you to be able to see that, looks too bright. Somebody hand stitched with a thick floss or yarn into each one of those circles. It's, not very pretty or anything. It just looks like exactly the kind of thing that they would have done. This could have been from the Victorian era. You know, they were known for going over the top at some point. So to me, that wrecked it. But it's perfect for this. So let's see. Now, I just wonder if it's got enough um, strength. It's very, very, very fine yarn that they use to make the cotton fabric, and I love it. It's sheer. So let's see. Oh, you know what I could do maybe? Maybe I could layer. I think there's not, yeah, there's not an end because this was obviously a slip. So I wonder if I had this at the bottom and then I put something else. Wow, it's hard working with a circle. Could just cut it, but I don't want to do it willy-nilly because I might cut in just the place that at another time I'd want to have intact. So if that's there, I'm going to bring you closer so I can appreciate this. Okay. If that is there, then another lace. This was a collar. This fell in the back and this went around the front, is my guess. If this were on top, no. Okay. And then I got this one just the other day. I don't like the color difference. Let me see how this one looks by itself. This is a rose. I didn't buy this anywhere that you could buy it. It was at a swap meet, so that's why I'm not mentioning a store name. Okay, so if this were here, oh, that is so sweet. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. That looks really cute, almost like it's a picket fence. But, you know, I don't know if it's strong enough to hold or even tall enough. Let's see, what if I did 2 rows? The journaling cards are this size. So I think if it was down here and I glued it, I think they'd be rather wobbly. Let's see if I put it like this and like this. That's too busy. Too busy for me. All right, here's another incredible eyelet. And it is really, I don't know if they expected anybody to buy it. It's rusted. It's perfect. Absolutely perfection. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I got it for a song. Let's see. Staples. You might be saying, well, just go ahead and rip it, but I don't want to. Darn, that's really... If I still had my long nails, I could do it in a flash. But they fall off this time of year, starting in winter. I think of it like a snake who has to lose his skin every now and again. That's what happens to my nails. And then they grow back and look good again for a while. All right, let's see. I could go this direction. Oh, it's kind of busy. I didn't expect that. I did not expect to see it as busy. That's the wrong side, but you can barely tell. Or cut this down a bit and put that there and have a little skirt. It's a little better. Now it's a little tall. I think it would have to be somewhat shorter. And if I did that and this skirt is hanging out for the whole book, how would that look? I don't know. I don't think it looks terrible. I don't know that it adds anything. I'm not sure it's the right thing. Okay, wow, batting 0. Okay, let's see about this. Okay, so the thicker part would be that. What do you think about that? I kind of wanted to show, because it's so pretty. I don't know. You know what? I think this feels the most like the journal. So let's go back to it. Those are beautiful. They'll come in handy elsewhere. But I'm trying to figure out how I could make this sturdier. Although I love the sheerness of it. I love the raw, ripped edge even. So making it sturdier is going to take that away. Even that seam is kind of cute to leave in. Or not. I could cut it there. Okay, let's see if it were to be hanging out the base. Let's just see. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to leave that seam because that looks done. Yeah, that's more acceptable. Wow, that flew. Okay. All right. So let's pick this. I'm going to cut it at the seam to get rid of it, basically. Did I tell you that this is, I believe, the base of a slip or petticoat? Okay. So let's see which end looks better. This one, it's a little more raggedy in the right ways. Oh my God, it's such a fun hobby that we want ragged, dirty, rusted, torn. I think that's so funny. Okay, so I wouldn't have to have it stick out at all. Okay, I'm going to cut it the right length, and then I'm going to play around and make sure I get the length right. And then I'm going to decorate the tags, put them in the pockets, and it's going to be beautiful. I want to cut this where this end doesn't unravel. So might be a tad short, but I'll save that design. Let's see, what's this? Farm dirt. Okay, Here's a right and wrong. I gotta make sure that I've got that correct. Oh, it's so hard to tell, isn't it? Honestly, I can't really tell. I don't know. I think this is the right side. Okay. Oh, it gets taller right there where the center is. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't really want that. Okay. All right. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to try to get this off without making it look like I cut it too much. Okay. All right. So if I have nothing sticks out, we've got the book like that. Okay. If I have a little bit stick out, like two of these bows, looks like a bow, B-O-U-G-H, and then it would look, well, it's got to be even for me to accept it. Stick out just a little bit. It's kind of cute, isn't it? Maybe a little bit less than that. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit light. It's going to be very much not showing, let's just say. Okay. And I'm going to use a combination, which I do often, of art glue and glitter glue. I'm going to use glitter glue on this, and then that'll be where the pictures, where the journal cards go to. Yeah, I think that's the answer. Okay, so I'm going to put the like Tombow glue stick. It's permanent. There is opportunity to move something. It doesn't dry that immediate. I like it for that reason. And now I'm going to put, I think I'm off the thing. I'm going to put this, okay. Hopefully this glue won't even show. Okay. Because glittered glue dries so darn fast. I always feel like it's going to dry up before I get done putting it on. So I put the glue stick on first because I feel like it doesn't dry up as fast. But it may. And we are at the end, which is especially important. Okay. So I'm going to go like this. Oh my gosh, this is always the hard part. Okay. I have no idea how much is hanging over because I can't see it. There, good. Just a smither. Just a teeny little bit. Yeah, that's good. I like that. On this side, yeah, just a really tiny bit. Okay. So that, and of course it isn't quite as even now, but I knew that would happen. But setting it up with that intention was the way I do it. Okay, so now I think I'm going to put more, I'm going to put a little more glitter glue here. Yeah. And then the rest of the way, I'm going to put the stiff glue. Okay. So these These are going to be loose. That's not exactly great, but okay. Okay. I think I'm going to have to consider gluing this in the middle. Yeah, because this is really, really loose. So, I'm going to cut this down a little bit. And there we go. Okay. And then get this to look ragged. Okay, I like that now. So you got raggedy edges, and then this, and it can't poke down, so I guess I'm going to have to glue it. Okay, I'm going to put some glue in here. Oops. I don't even know if this is going to work. I have no idea. Let's show. Okay. Yeah, a big blob there. It's probably going to show. I hope not. It's supposed to dry clear. Okay. Well, you know what? If that works, that might be just enough. Although I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if that's going to dry clear. You know what? I'm going to leave that to dry and see what happens to decide what I might want to do. And then we'll work on the cute darling tags and how I'm going to decorate them. And then we can come back to that. So I thought that these cards looked really, really good with this wallpaper. And once I get the decorations on, they look even better. I think that's pretty. And this card has got a blue background, so it's possible that I could turn it over. Yeah, sweet. If these can just stay in this kind of pocket. I kind of wish I hadn't made that tighter. I think it's never going to work out unless I glue it, so I'm going to glue it. Here and here. I have no idea what that means for how much is left for the cards, but we'll be finding out in a minute, won't we? There, that looks good, actually. I'm glad I did that. Okay. All right, so what I want to do for the cards, I'll show ya. Okay, I have this long saying that I'll read to you in a minute. And this is Nature's Walk. This is one of the word pieces from the kit. These are all from the kit. Nature Walk. Oh no. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. And this. And this. All right. So, does this not have a word? I guess I thought the quote was so long it didn't really need one. Could do a button on there though. With this cute flannel. I love this flannel. Does Albert Einstein bring button to mind? No, no, he does not. I don't think it needs a button. Okay, so first we'll do some distressing of the Nature Walk card. It's just so gorgeous. She's got a million of these framed, these Polaroid old-fashioned vintage. I'm using gray around the edge so it's not so white and standing out. It's a hickory smoke. It's kind of a gray-brown. It's one of the prettiest, I think. I use it a lot since I discovered it. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of these wonderful Polaroids around gorgeous pictures, a lot of them classic like this. And then there's a whole kit of all of the different colors you can imagine and bottoms that you can imagine, all empty. So you can put whatever you want in them. Oh, it's phenomenal. You could use it with anything at any time. She left no stone unturned in terms of her coloring. And, you know, if you watched her kits, you know how she does them. So, yeah. So I think that's all that needed. To me, that was perfect. So I'm going to put that in there. Then this one, I returned back to my gathered twigs, which is my preferred distress brown because it's not yellow, which I think vintage paper is very yellowy. And there's a lot of digitals and stuff that have a yellow tone to them, and it's perfect for that. But I don't use those very often. When I do, I pull out my vintage distress. But this, I just think, blends better with most of the stuff that I tend to use. And this reads by Mr. Albert Einstein himself, "Art is standing with one hand extended into the universe and one hand extended into the world, and letting ourselves be a conduit for the passing energy." I love that. And believe it. And I bet the Artemis people that just got back from traveling around the moon would agree with that. I heard one of the astronauts speak on the news this morning, and she said she had the best night's sleep. No crinks in your neck, you know, the most comfortable. No gravity, I'm sure that's what it's due to. Okay. Yeah. And then I'm going to put a little brown here. Doesn't take much to make these look good because they're great. What she did to these is just perfect in my opinion. Kept them, you know, mellow and lightweight so that you could add a lot or not. So, there you go. I don't think that needs another thing in this room to write. And last but not least, one of my favorite cards too is this aqua one. I love this beautiful font up here. And so I put this word harmony because I'll tell you in a minute on a piece of batting. I did a stitched, I slow stitched a sewing kit, which I shared on Instagram yesterday. If you want to see it, it's cool. It's on an 1800s turkey red and white damask linen hand towel for a kitchen. It's just gorgeous fabric. Old and worn. But anyway, this was what I used for the needle part of it. So I thought, well, you know, it's kind of cool. It's cozy. So that's why I picked it, because it's cozy. I got to put this down first. Okay, so let's get some brown on here. Okay. So I chose this quote for this card and the word harmony because the quote says, "The purpose of art is washing the dust off daily life of our souls." And this is a receipt for furnitures, for bureaus, administrators, for bureau administrators, furnitures. So I'm not sure what they mean for bureau administrators. It is French, and I don't think that's the way they spelled furniture, so I'm not sure what they're talking about, but it's a receipt, okay? And that's the dust of daily life, right? Having to buy everything all the time. So I thought harmony, between washing the dust off our souls and art making. I just thought that fit. I know it's probably kind of silly. As I look at it now, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I still like this. Put this here, maybe, and put this here. I don't know. I like that. And I like the word harmony, but I'm not so sure I like this batting. So I think I'm going to cut that off. Looks a little dumb. Just a little. Just because something's sitting on my desk as a scrap, it doesn't mean I have to use it. Check. Okay. This piece of flannel would have looked a lot better because of the coloring. Maybe I can do that. No, it still looks stupid. Okay. Let's see if I can get this any more off. Could just look like cotton. Well, it is cotton. Could look like what it is. Which that doesn't bother me. I like that idea. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on. Okay, let's see. Where is this best? I think I'm going to put it down here. Smack dab in the middle. Which I never do. So I'm going to do it. There you go. Okay. And then this little guy. I know that nobody else is going to see that I'm speaking to what it says on this receipt and this very fancy way of saying it. When in reality, they're just taking your money. $61.50, it looks like. Okay. Okay, so maybe I'll go like that. Yeah, so you get a sense of it all. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I guess I should probably, let's see, maybe I'll do that and that. That looks so sweet. But I originally had it this way. And I had this by itself in my mind. Yeah, I think that looks better. And then move this down. I think they're actually in a comfortable place where they can actually stay. Let's see what happens. It's officially shut. Okay, you can see a little bit of this ruffle at the bottom. A little bit here. I think that's just enough. And then you open it up. And this one moved because these two are together. And besides, it's probably a little bit tighter. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put these two here. I'll put this one over here. All right. So, hope you like this project. It's lace. And just remember this little trick for when you're really tearing apart an old book. And that's it. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something or got inspired. I'll have all the information to the collaboration in the description box, the links and whatnot. They're also on my profile page on Instagram. They go to Lydia's blog, which has everything on it, and then also her coffee shop where the free printables are and the list of prompts. So join in. You can start anytime. I'm not working them every day. You don't have to feel obligated. Pick the prompts that speak to you. That's what I'm doing. And you can continue doing it after it ends on the 30th of April. that's what I plan on doing. So just have fun with it. It just was to inspire us all to be together and to focus on something other than, what's going on. So hope you're well. Thank you. Bye bye.